Hello interwebs, it is I, all by myself. Well, no, that's not entirely true. Buckeye's here, see, with, because boomerangs. I'm sorry, I've got a very pouty cameraman. Sexy Dave is here, as always. But I mean, all by myself on this, and you can't see him. So to you guys, it's the optical illusion. He is my special effect. Alright? I know he's here.
I'm the omnipotent voice.
He's that voice that comes from I don't know where. It's kind of like God. Only, that's horrifying.
I got the beard.
He is larger than life. Okay, first, before we start this episode of F3G2, from the back of Famous Faces and Funnies, and available on GonnaGeek.com, we're going to start with a special salute to sisters. First off, Josh Maynard just lost his sister, Esperanza. He's a friend of the show, friend of the store, an all-around good guy. So we're sending out our honest, heartfelt condolences to him and to all of his.
Sorry.
Segueing in from that, we've got my own sister has she's got severe case of late diagnosed Lyme disease. She's been bitten by a tick. They didn't find it till forever, and now she's having a hard time moving around. She's been out of work for almost a full year as a result of this. And we're doing a fundraiser here next Saturday. So if you are local, or if you in any way want to support, feel free to message me. Either it's, I guess the easiest address is Sebastian at GonnaGeek.com. And if you want to support, or we're gonna have a raffle, there'll be artwork sent in. We've got stuff coming in from Carmeline and from Peter Palmiotti. Hey Peter, one of our 3 viewers. So I don't know who the heck I'm talking to. Everyone who watches this already knows. And let's see. And there'll be other things. We'll be people in the store doing sketches, and we're gonna try and help her out because her meds are as expensive, and she's already been out of work long enough that they've dropped the coverage. So we're gonna try and help as much we can with that.
It is just not a good time to be related to anyone involved in this.
It's bad time for sisters in particular. But all right, now on that note, now I get to seem really shallow and just move from from heartache and illness to comic books. But our pick of the week this week is, who would have guessed it, Superman. Superman number 32. Superman number 32 was awesome. I even love this cover. Look at that.
Okay, that is a cool cover.
This is like everything classic. This screams like, not Silver Age, but, what do they call it now? Like the Bronze Age. This screams like, late, like 78 to 82, DC Comics. I love everything about this. I know that one of the polarizing things for this has been John Romita Jr., because people either love him or hate him. I am one of those who tends to love him, or meh, depending on what book he's on. He's really a specific fit. And I've said, since they showed the first pictures, while I'm not a fan of the Superman armor, his style works for that Superman armor. Alright? So, love him or hate him, it doesn't even matter, because Jeff Johns wrote the single greatest issue of a Superman comic in the New 52. Alright? There have been... Not that bar was set terribly high. There were a handful of really good Superman issues. Most of them not in Superman. Right? Most of them in other people's comics. But this touched on everything. You had the right amount of Clark and Jimmy. The idea of this company 25 years ago called Ulysses Research Center that is experimenting with different dimensions. Not the different worlds. Not like multiversity. Just different dimensions. They find an inhabitable dimension, but there's an accident and people are living in the place. They've left all the best minds from different, all the best and brightest minds from across the earth deserted their military jobs and came here because we all shared the same dream. All right, so people are living in this underground labyrinthian headquarters. There's an accident. Chemicals are energy is released, and people trapped beneath, they're not going to get out, and they're going to have to. They know it's going to detonate because it's the only way to stop this interdimensional breach from consuming the world. So this one couple in there, in a story very parallel to Superman's own, live in there with their child, and they are able to shunt their child away into the fourth dimension. All right, so their kid is saved. It's the Superman origin, but for somebody else from Earth, who grows up thinking he is the last son of Earth, but in a world that gives him powers. And of course, in this other world, due to the information on the shuttle that he's sent, the other world, they name him Ulysses, like it says. So we've now got this Ulysses Superman analog who shows up on Earth and goes, wow, Earth still exists? I thought I was the last son. I'm not alone. And he sees Superman. He got the same person. So he's like, oh, wow, look, you and I must... at this point, he may think everybody on Earth is like him and Superman. It so good. You need to read. Who knew? Superman, pick of the week. Weird but true. Ghostbusters. All right, number 17, the mass hysteria storyline, part 5. So amazing. This book has been so amazing. The only bad thing is that they've announced that when this story is over, the Ghostbusters comic is over as well. Period. That's it. Unless they work out some other deal, this is the end of the Ghostbusters, and that makes me sad. It's just sad. But this book is so good. Buy the trades. Buy this book. Read it. Love it. It's perfect. Batman Eternal. This was a really good issue. Batman Eternal number 12. All right. 12 weeks of the Batman. First off, Michael Janin on artwork. Amazing. You've got Tim Drake. You've got Tim Drake. Tim's origin, which is in one of these other issues, but we know that Tim is the computer nerd Robin. All right, he's the hacker Robin. He's the I found out Bruce's identity Robin. He goes up against his own analog. He goes up against Harper Row, who is hacking into his computers, trying to trace what he's doing, because as always, Harper Row is told by Batman, stay out of this, and Harper Row says, no, I gotta save your ass. So she's in there. So it's kind of, as much as they've reintroduced Stephanie Brown, it's almost really it's a no-brainer that these two should at least work together, if not become love, because Bluebird, as she will be known, and Red Robin, really do we need to spell out how parallel these two are? It's amazing, but really, really good issue. The story's been really good so far, and more Batman Year Zero. Bruce Year Zero. Bruce continues to get outthought by the Riddler. And even when he finally figures out, it's exactly this, there's a lot of Riddler catching up to do. I will also say, on a Bat-related note, most of the DC books have a backup feature for, the Grayson comic. And I don't know, who knew that I would live in a world where Superman 32 is my pick of the week, and the Grayson comic that I'd actually been sort of looking forward to, I don't want to read anymore. It did nothing for me. In all of these books with this backup, I couldn't make it through the full 4 or 5 page backup, because I was like, I don't care. So I'm gonna read the first one, just give it that shot. But it better fucking wow me, because these pages, if these are the pages that someone picked out and said these are good, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume they said this doesn't spoil too much, and not that they said these were the best 5 pages. Let's hit them with this, because they're not really making me feel it. Avengers Undercover. Art-wise, is interesting simply because Death Locket, who up till now has looked like 10 or 12, is suddenly 16 to 19, suddenly, and I'm like, what happened? And they've given her a love interest of sorts, sort of a love triangle of sorts, and it's almost like, okay, so suddenly she's got a bod, because up till now she's looked mostly like a kid, and now she's still got this sweet kid's, well, at least half a kid's sweet face, but story-wise, this is one of my favorite books in the Marvel Universe. It really, they like to talk about, this comic is character-driven. This comic is character-driven. It's really, really well done, and it hits on a lot of notes. Even the characters that I didn't really read the Runaways, but there's new characters, there's obscure characters. There's a lot of characters, and it makes and there's some great moments where they're pretending to be villains, but no one's told Death Locket yet because they haven't been able to get her alone. So they end up on a mission with the bad guys, in which she's got Captain America in her sights, and Chase of Runaways fame is like trying to tell her, look, we're pretending. And we're not going to do a good job of pretending if you assassinate Captain America. That's hard to come back from.
Well, he did it once. He's done it a couple times actually.
Yeah, but it's easy for him to come back. It's hard for your reputation to come back once you've earned the one who killed Captain America. That's
for her side of things, yes.
That's harder to wash off. Even though I think for a while he was still dating the chick who shot him last time. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's... Yeah, screw it. You can kill Captain America. Who cares?
We'll just move on.
Whatevs. The Amazing Spider... You'll get your own... your grandmother will get her own Avengers S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off show. And have your great aunt. But Amazing Spider-Man #3. Slott continues to just kick ass with this. It's so good. You've got Peter trying to be a hero on Peter's side. You've got Anna Maria, the Doc Ock Peter's girlfriend, who knows that Peter is now Peter again and was Doc Ock, trying to pick up Doc Ock's research, which was supposed to be for Parker Industries, was this nano research that Peter doesn't understand. So she's kind of carrying that. And you've got Black Cat, who, upon finding out what happened, goes, I don't care. The spider ruined my life. I don't care who it was under there. I'm going to ruin the spider. And she's teaming up with Electro, who's just a mess, part because his powers are going nuts, and part because he's going nuts since Doc Ock was mind controlling him with he put the little gizmos in all their heads so that he could make a Sinister Six that worked as his heroes, as it were. So it's all just so much going on. Interestingly enough, it does make me wonder. Mary Jane Watson is a moron. I don't know if Dan Slott did this on purpose or what, but there's this great. She's dating this fireman, and he goes rushing in, and Peter, Spidey comes in and helps him and ends up saving him when the building collapses on him and whatever. But here's the why I say Mary Jane Watson is a moron. In continuity, she says, look, I've had enough of you. You're Spider-Man, and I love you, but I can't deal with that. I can't deal with a man who rushes into danger every day and could get killed any day. And I sit here wondering, because even Peter's a moron, because he saves, he sees her hugging, the fireman, and he's about to say, yeah, well, I had some help getting out of there. She goes, I don't care, just, so she doesn't know that Peter was the real hero here. But Peter's like, oh my God, I can't believe I put her through that. She's so much better off without me. I'm like, how? She'd be better off without you if she was dating an accountant. But she's not. She picked another person who actually, Peter, there'll be days where, okay, I'm not doing the Spidey thing today. But a fireman, that's actually literally his job is every day at any moment. He can beep, beep. Oh, I got to go rush into a burning inferno. And, so really, her entire argument for not seeing Peter is bullshit. If she's going out with a guy who's doing the same, and at least Peter, firemen, yes, they have training, and we know in the real world firemen are heroes, and even in the comic world they are heroes, but they don't have superpowers. They are very, very mortal running into that peril. So there is the same, if not greater, risk that yes, Peter will get attacked by more supervillains. But while the supervillains are doing all that property damage that they're famous for, it's there's her new boyfriend running into so her argument loses a lot of weight. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 16. Oh, I told you how much I love this book. What was very jarring is halfway through, what's his name? Bradshaw's art ends, and who picks up? Where's the, you got Nick Bradshaw, David Marquez, and Jason Masters doing the art. Their art style is so 180 degrees from his that you're just like, la 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 la. It's good art, but when you get to that page, I'm gonna see if I can. It's right about there. Okay, yeah, it's all right. So there's the familiar Bradshaw, Arthur Adams, Ed McGuinness-esque art, right? We love it. It's a great feel for this book. The next art is also really good, but what throws you is how different it is that you go from half a book of this, and then you flip this page to this very realistic style. Gorgeous art, but like sitting in a sauna and suddenly falling into a tub full of ice water. The contrast. It's gorgeous, but it's like watching half of an episode of a Gorn and Eames Law and Order, and then they just suddenly disappear, and you've got I don't know, you get Logan and I forget Logan's. It's noticeable. You don't just suddenly in mid conversation. Oh, you're not the detective I was talking to. So that threw me. But story-wise, both arts are gorgeous. There's just that jarring moment of incongruity. Venom and Skrulls, awesome. Captain Marvel, just awesome. Star-Lord and his dad. Brilliant moment where he defeats him not through force or even through logic. His logic is lost on his father, but through the clever use of remembering that there are cameras. Brilliant way to just, let your father give him enough rope to literally hang himself in front of his entire empire. Brilliant. Ghost Rider number 4. This book should not be as awesome as it is, and yet I love this new Ghost Rider. Yes, rest assured, I've told you before, the other Ghost Riders, if you're still a fan of the chick Ghost Rider, I don't know her name, I've never read anything with her. If you like the girl Ghost Rider, she's still out there. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, he's still around somewhere. Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, he's still out there. But Robbie Reyes is my Ghost Rider. Yeah! This book is so good. The art is so good. There's a guest artist coming up who makes the mistake of trying to do a Trad Moore style, and from just the cover, you will realize that's a horrible mistake. Don't try and be Trad Moore if you're not Trad Moore. It's a very distinct style, and if you can either do this or you can't. The person doing the other, if the fill-in issue, can't. So that'll be jarring when I get there. But there's something about Robbie Reyes and his motivation for everything is, and he passes up on a great opportunity to go kick the shit out of people for simple revenge reasons, even with the little demon in his head going, do it, I know you want to. Because his real motivation is his brother, his special needs little brother, and his little brother Gabe, who is in a wheelchair and is either just very excitable and very young, or there's more to his special needs than just the wheelchair. But either way, he's just the sweetest kid in the world, and his big brother, everything is all for him, and it's so refreshing. Alien Legion. Whoever thought I'd get to say I'm reviewing an issue of Alien Legion? I loved the Alien Legion, and this is it's Chuck Dixon and Larry Stroman. And Carl Potts on inks. It's just like it walked out. Hi, remember me from your childhood? You got a random issue of me in a grab bag comic from the booth in the mall, the comic book store booth in the mall, in the flea market mall. And you were hooked ever since then, mostly because of Larry Stroman's art and this guy that's like half a nightcrawler, half a snake. And I was hooked. I just totally was. And it's, if you remember Alien Legion, it's brilliant. If you don't remember Alien Legion, you don't need to know anything other than it's literally that's exactly what it is. It's right there in the title, Alien Legion. It is an armed force of aliens, and this is one of their groups, the Nomads, who go out and get all the shit jobs, and they do. Their luck is still all bad. It even says that right in there. But it is so good. I'm going to review Justice League, and I'm going to send my cameraman to make mean faces at the increasingly loud gamers who just don't get it.
Can you get them to quiet down?
But all right, Justice League number 31. Lex on the Justice League is so much better than it ever should have been. He's actually being a good guy, sure, for his Lex Luthorian reasons. But he's a good guy.
That's just a fun word to say.
It is. I just made that word up right there. My Lex Luthorian reasons. But yes, basically Lex likes that he helped he's helped save the day. He led the team that saved the day. He saved the world where the Justice League failed. He's being a hero. He's doing all the right things and for mostly right reasons, but his main motivator is the fact that he was better at it than everybody else. He doesn't need to destroy Superman anymore. He can now team up with him because he's better at it. But he needs to get on the Justice League. So he's Lex. He goes to Wayne Manor and says, "I know you're Bruce." And Bruce is like, "I don't know." And he's like, "I don't got time for this shit." And he proves it. And then, you've got Lex, things you never thought you'd see. Lex Luthor versus Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth. It's brilliant. And then even the end with, a phone call to Superman from Lex with the ominous, "And when we're done, Clark, I'm going to need your help with something." Lex Luthor knows who I really am. All right, we've also got the new Power Ring. She is a woman who was assaulted and has not left her house in 4 years. So she is so filled with fear that the ring is just like, if a Power Ring could get an erection, this one would have one. And it goes right to and says, "We're going to burn this world." And,
Our dimension or theirs?
Ours. Straight from our dimension. And she's, less than thrilled with it. We get the first official appearance of the Doom Patrol in the New 52. And they're the Doom Patrol we know, not the ones who we saw getting their asses kicked during the whatever.
Lineup.
And they fixed everything. I don't know if you remember when the New 52 first started, it had that one anthology book.
My Greatest Adventure.
Yeah, something like that. And it had
Horrible Robot Man.
It had a horrible Robot Man. I was not at all happy with Robot Man. That's Robot Man, baby. That's Robot Man. Look at that team. I still want to know why they introduced her before Metamorpho. I want a Metamorpho. But, I'll take what I can get. Also, Shazam's powers. He can do some interesting things with magic. But his childlike... There's just a great Shazam and Cyborg on monitor duty. And it's... Some of the best scenes that happen in Justice League are always the monitor duty scenes, because there's always someone who's not into it and someone who's, we got to do the right, we got to do this, and it just makes for great little character-driven moments. Future's End number 8, good, is just good. It's not great. I'm liking the Bat book better this week. There's an awkward moment where the late Hawkman, thanks to the Atom, lends Frankenstein a hand, literally. And then, things take a turn for the holy shit. And get a little Kirby-esque in the end there. But you can't have a possible DC future without some Kirby influence, because he did a lot of possible DC futures. All new Ultimates. The girls go to the beach. Spidey deals with issues. Bombshell has a really, really bad day. Not as bad as her boyfriend, Pooey, but she has a really bad day. And while the girls are at the beach doing a little bonding, Black Widow, a.k.a. formerly known as Spider Girl, tells the rest of the team for the first time, she's like, I'm a Peter Parker clone. I have the, anatomy of a girl, but my mindset is still based on Peter Parker. I'm starting to make my own decisions, but I still think mostly like Peter Parker. I like girls and kind of have a crush on Kitty because they dated. And this is news to pretty much everyone on the team. Jonah Hex. I'm going to be sad when this book ends. The All-Star Western featuring Jonah Hex. But this issue kind of threw me because they were dealing with that somewhere out there's a imposter Jonah Hex, and this issue doesn't get to any of that. Great issue. Jonah and Tallulah end up captured, and even captured, they're still more dangerous than everyone you know. So there's that. New Warriors, really good. New Warriors meet the Avengers.
Who throws the first
Thor,
punch?
who throws the first punch? Water Snake, the Atlantean, but mostly because she's being possessed at the moment. Someone is making her see things, but Araceli is able to see in everybody else's head, so she attacks. So this guy makes Water Snake fight Thor. Eventually, there's this, everyone kind of fights. There's a moment where suddenly they can all say, "Did you just see a dwarf stand there?" And then by the time the rest of the Avengers and Speedball and Vance show up, camaraderie ensues. There's a great Vance Astro speech to Cap and Iron Man where he basically says, "Look, you can't, don't diss, the idea of the Warriors. Fuck you, I'm not an Avenger anymore. I'm a new Warrior. We just saved the world, and we just defeated, all of this. And, we don't need the Avengers to give us permission to be a team. Yes, we know that the team name comes with some tragic history, but that's the kind of thing we're trying to build on and past." So he's got this great moment. It's really, really, really well done. Proving that he's worthy of the Vance Astro he will become in the future with the original future version of the Guardians of the Galaxy that Marvel just announced are getting their own book, Guardians 3000. That's going to be the future set Guardians, and it's written by Dan Abnett. So it'll connect. And I'm
In
a
time
happy
for the movie?
I'm a happy. Probably right after, because it's not the characters that the movie people won't know. Charles Soule and James Calafield. It's Red Lanterns. It's the team versus Atrocitus, and Atrocitus basically takes out their whole planet while they're dealing with a distraction he left for them. It's not good. This is also the issue, like I said, for some reason, last week, Supergirl 32 came out that has a story that happens right after this. So you should have sat on it for a week and read it after this for it to really make sense. So we just saw her go to Mogo and then say, "No, screw it, I'm not going to Mogo, I'm going to Earth. I'm not going to do this just because Guy Gardner told me to try and get rid of the ring." And then this, Guy Gardner tells her, "Hey, go try and get rid of the ring." So it's like watching what should be a hit show on Fox. They show the episodes out of order. Alright. Saga. Saga. This is the best, most horrible book ever written.
What the hell is he planning?
Because we're building towards, clearly we're starting to see the seeds of, this is the story of how my parents broke up. Prince Robot the Fourth gets a little beaver, literally. I never thought I'd feel bad for the robots, the robot
that
family,
was pretty crappy.
but I do. Drugs are bad,
But potent.
yeah, but have some interesting, not safe for work effects, and just because a chick looks a little bit like a bat doesn't mean she's ugly. This is what we learned from Saga.
Give me the next one.
It's so good, but I just want to cry while pounding on Vaughn's chest. I'm like, why do you do these things? Can I have another? That's the kind of book. Savage Hulk, beautiful and well. This is one of those can happen at any point in continuity stories. All right, but for the first story, Alan Davis doesn't just pick. Oh, this could and he goes very specific. He picks an issue of X-Men he liked where they met the Hulk, like the first time the X-Men met the Hulk, and tells you what happened immediately after. So you've got Alan Davis drawing like what was that? Was that like 70s?
Had to be.
Yeah, this is like 15-cent. X-Men 66 had to be like 70s. Beast wasn't blue yet. Angels in the that weird blue suit. Havoc's on the team along with Lorna. I was so happy. This is like some of my favorite X-Men, and it's them and a really great, very understanding Charles, very sympathetic Hulk. Just so well done. So well done. Read this. Get this first arc when the trade comes out. Read that. Oh, that's some seriously good stuff. Serenity, Leaves on the Wind, number 6. I think this is the last. Yeah, this is the last of Leaves on the Wind, but definitely leaves you for there will be another Serenity series. So good. And you get, it all takes place off panel, but you don't need to see Zoe versus what the hell is his name? The bounty hunter. Early something.
Jubal Early.
Jubal Early versus Zoe. That you don't get to see how it goes, but you see the effects on Early afterwards, and Zoe's just kind of walking around cool. But he'll clearly be a part of what's coming. But yeah, if she holds him partly responsible for it was in escaping him and the people he was working for that Wash got killed. Therefore, he is, while not directly responsible, a very punchable, work out your feelingsable
He's a lightning
representative of said animosity. Sinestro is great because while he does his right thing,
number 2.
Sinestro number 3.
3.
While he's out there saving his lost people, he and his daughter and the Yellow Lanterns are saving they're saving his lost people after Korugar was destroyed. But he saves them. He's one of those. He's not even like Magneto will do the right thing for the wrong reasons and the wrong thing for the right reasons, and he knows that. All right, or Lex Luthor will justify, why he's doing what he's doing. Sinestro honestly doesn't justify, or he has no idea and is baffled when other people don't understand what he thinks is right. That's what's great, is he just goes, "I'm saving you, damn it, you worthless cretins! Why are you afraid of me?" And they're like, he's screaming at them and calling them worthless, and they're like, "What the hell?" And he has no idea. He's like, "Look, I know what I mean."
Just go with it.
And he's baffled that they don't just, "Oh, thank you, Sinestro." Half of the people that he just saved said, "Look, the only reason, we had left Korugar in the first place was to get away from you. We're fugitives from you. We get that you're saving us, but you're saving us from their tyranny. We're just afraid you're bringing us back to yours." So, and he's like, I don't understand. He's like, and that's great. The Flash.
Me?
Still, this book, it's less than me. It's like, it's not, I don't hate it, but only because it doesn't make me feel enough either way. I could hate it, but it doesn't earn. It's
just me.
But like a meh minus. You can have a meh plus where it was all right, I guess. This is like, it was kind of crap, I guess. But there's also a moment that just seems almost like the Law and Order SVU cops should just take Wally away. There's a moment, I get what they were going for. I mean, I take Barry away. They're going for the final, we're finally getting some bonding. They go to a baseball game, and Wally would rather have been to a basketball game because stereotypes. And Barry's like, well, we didn't know what sports you liked. Translation, look, I'm white. I didn't want to just guess that you liked basketball. So, because stereotypes. But it's really the artwork that makes this seem like, Law and Order to Catch a Predator, DC, Law and Order DCU. Because there's like defiant, mad Wally. And he's talking about, he doesn't like baseball, it's too slow. And Barry's explaining, it's calculated. The fielder stand shallow or deep. Does the pitcher throw a fastball or a breaking pitch? But look at how close he leans in, and look at the look on his face as he says to him, everything worth anything takes time. Maybe you don't like baseball. Heck, maybe you don't like me. But believe me when I tell you, if all you do is go fast, you'll miss out on the finer things. And just the look on his face, everything makes me expect Olivia Benson to come out and just take him down. It's just the way he's looking at him. It's just, hi, I'm Flash of Nambla. I mean JLA. I meant JLA.
I'm Flash of.
So it just looks like, hey, kid, I'm a coroner. You want to take a ride in my police van? Everything
Flash
about it.
Flasher.
Yeah, it seems like, and then, Iris comes out with a, so what I miss. Iris, who's now got short hair. I don't know. Iris changes every issue physically. I think there's Iris is a dimensional gate for the entire multiversity, and at any given moment it's the Iris from a different Earth. Only no one notices. Everyone just goes with it. Iris is like that character who, the actress did one episode and then quit, so we got a new act, and everyone just acts like la 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 la. And she's been 13 different people.
Either that or she shares Croc's physiology.
Yeah, there's something going on. She's Clayface with attention deficit disorder. Flash Gordon, number 3 from Dynamite. This book is amazing. I'm getting the trade. It's that simple. It's, I suppose, modern. However, art style. Who's the art? It's Jeff Parker's writing it, and it's art by Evan Shanner, and it just looks like a Flash Gordon comic should. It's beautiful. It's simple. I love it. I just love it. Green Hornet. I believe this ends the Green Hornet. Completely, and it finishes Mark Waid's story either way with the whole am I doing this right? And someone goes through great lengths to show him why the Green Hornet is necessary. Deja of Mars, while she looks kind of Caucasian and green on the cover, one of my big peeves is they don't always make the red Martian princess look red. She's red as hell in this, and I was very happy. Also, again, the art in this, who does this? It doesn't tell me. It says, here we go, illustrated by Jeff Morales. It's a more stylized, simpler. Some of them, a lot of people have been going too far out of their way to do this hyper detail. Everybody wants to draw the hotness, but you can do it in a simpler way, and it really works. It just really, the art works so well in here. So it was nice. I love everything they're doing. I got the ones for next week yesterday. I already want to go home and read Dr. Spectrum. What do we got? Solar Man of the Atom #2. Working on some serious daddy-daughter issues. He's kind of ghosted. She's got the powers. Nobody gets along, and it's just really, 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 really well done. Who's writing that? Frank Barbier. So good. This one, Greg Pak. Change up on the art for this issue, but we also get a more Eastern. We've got a Asian character shows up riding on a flying dinosaur. She's got like a pterodactyl and Pteranodon here and Pteranodon, silent P's. But the art is really, really good. Kind of almost there's a nod to the anime, and almost some of it made me think of like 80s Colleen Durant. And then they meet some tribal people riding on mammoths, and it gets complicated. So there's this whole world going on. Larfleeze is over, and the biggest reveal, the number 12, it's done. It's the last issue. But the biggest reveal is in the end, they deal with the confrontation they have to deal with, and then Nort. I don't know how much the rest of the continuity is going to cling on to this, because they don't always, when series end, they don't always remember what they don't always make a big deal out of what happened in them. But Nort goes to arrest Larfleeze, and his ring won't let him under the rationale. Mission update: Green Lantern Nort, stand down. Genetic match detected. You cannot remain objective when dealing with family. Analysis indicates that Agent Orange is your cousin. Then turns out he's like a distant cousin, like sometime, like 15 times removed or whatever. But the orange ring and the Green Lantern ring and have an argument, while Nort and Larfleeze just kind of watch. In the end, Larfleeze freaks out and runs with a tear down his face because he's like, "You're my family?" Larfleeze had a family once, and now Larfleeze has a family again. Suddenly, Nort is important to Larfleeze, half because he's, underneath it's because he's family, and Larfleeze became who he is because he lost his family. But also because as his family, that makes Nort his, and Nort's like, "I'm not going to deal with any of this," and then all of a sudden, Larfleeze says that he's going to make him his sidekick, and Nort gets like all excited. So somewhere out there, Larfleeze and Nort are distant cousin morons in space with power rings. Who knew? Dupe continues to be Dupe. I like it. You either will or you won't. Depends on how you feel about Dupe. Also, it's got what's his face? It does have an Ecstatics team up. What's his face with the acid sweat? I never remember anybody's name because I suck. But he shows up and helps him fight Ray's anarchist. Anarchist, and a brief cameo by Hugo Gray. Cal, #2 from Image. Really, really good 60s. Almost spy cop drama superheroes, if that makes any sense. Really, really good. Outcast, the new one from Kirkman. There's Outcast. The guy is an outcast. Hey, and he also can outcast demons that possess people, but most people don't believe him, so they kind of think he attacked his wife, but he didn't. He actually saved her from a demon. But now he can't see his own kid and his wife. But that's all told in flashback. This is him dealing with, after years of just not coming out, a priest comes over to him and says, "Hey, look, I need your help with this." And he's suddenly back in the world of demons that seem to mostly be trying to mess with him for some reason. So that was really good. Deadly Class, number 6, 1987. Oh, such a good book. Then you got people on an acid trip in a supermarket or a convenience store, and the crocodile on the logo from a knocked over crocodile starts talking to him, and that already made me happy. But this book, Super good, super cool. Ms. Marvel took, it was a slow burn. This is issue number 5. Took till issue 4 for me. Issue 1 and 2 were okay. Issue 3 was good. Issue 4 won me over, and issue 5 has got me on board for whatever they do. There's like a cockatiel-faced villain. The artwork kind of reminds me of. There are moments that are very Dave Sim and Gerhard-esque, Cerebus style, in a lot of the expressions and the fluidity of everything, and that's not a bad thing. Letter 44 gets origin-y and kind of flashes back to how our crew members ended up where they are. This is issue number 7. Continues to be a great little indie. So many good indies out these days. Dream Thief. I loved the first series. This is Dream Thief Escape. He's a little more confident in his abilities, but he's getting into trouble. This is a guy who, when he goes to sleep, ghosts take over him, and he goes and gets revenge for murdered ghosts, and he always wakes up going, where the hell am I? So he wakes up in the Everglades standing over a dead body of someone who killed and robbed an old man, and the old man happened to have been, he served in Nam. So the old man now possesses him. He takes the guy out and is able to get the stuff back and return it to the old man's granddaughter. Really, really good, and there's more going on as he finds out his father had the same ability. There's a bad guy who has the same ability, and problem is the bad guy is in jail and is claiming that one of the murders he's under trial for, he didn't do because our hero did, and our hero actually did it. So there's a problem there. Also, our hero's father is in jail, but our hero's father is dead, killed by the other guy, and our hero's father is currently possessing another villain, another not villain, but another convict that they need to get out of jail so that they can continue with their exploration of how and why these powers work. So it is a tangled web we weave. Mercy Sparks has a lot of strange guest stars, including characters from Tales of Mr. Ree, Hack Slash, Arsenic Lullaby. The Spider Demon is awesome, but yeah, you've got until you see Wolf Boy is in here from Patrick the Wolf Boy, but you've got the fetus zombies of Voodoo Dave from Arsenic Lullaby, just wandering around trying to be helpful like they do, because if you read Arsenic Lullaby, you know that he raids abortion clinics for the little thing, and he just raises them as little zombies and makes them do his bidding. So they're in here. Secret Origins number 3 gives us a decent but typical, nothing really new added to the Green Lantern origin. The Batwoman origin was interesting to me because I did not know the new. I didn't know that the origin for, I only know Golden Age Batgirl, Batwoman. I didn't know the new Kate Kane origin, so this was news to me. And Scott Lobdell half makes up for, we get a Tim Drake origin, which Scott Lobdell's given us one before. This one goes a little further and does let us know that he did discover it, because the first one made it seem like he didn't figure out Bruce's identity. This says he did. He just at the last minute second guesses himself and doesn't call Batman Bruce because he's like, no, I don't know if it's him. And so he figured it out. So that's good. And then we get the reasoning for why he becomes Red Robin and never becomes a Robin. Although the original Red Robin costume, screw it, for all intents and purposes, we can just say that, yeah, he was Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Call you. So there's that. Original Sins has a great one-page, two-page Ty Templeton, Howard the Duck that is very meta. I can only assume Ty Templeton, being as clever as he is, intended this because Howard the Duck discovers that he is the greatest example of wasted potential in the known galaxy. It's meta because based on how little they've used this character and what this character once was and the potential this character has, especially in a world where, yes, Rocket Raccoon is a movie star, and a beloved He's doing Dr. Pepper commercials, for Christ's sake. The Rocket Raccoon. So yes, Howard the Duck is both the character within the universe and the actual concept of the character is the greatest wasted potential because there's so much that could be done. There's also the first there's a potential first part to a Black Knight story that is. I love the character Black Knight, but the story just made me go, nah, they're fucking with him again. And then a Young Avengers story that still is making me think I don't care about this current incarnation of the Young Avengers. This was really good. This is Mark Waid and Kieran Gillen did the story. Mark Waid did the script. So I'm going to assume it's the Waid influence that makes me liking the Kieran Gillen story. But this is, we find out that, basically I'll just tell you outright, Drunken Tony fucked with the Gamma Bomb because he was in a constant rivalry even then with Banner over who was, basically it's his fault. And he didn't remember until he goes, oh shit. But they end up with each other's memories. So you've got a much more sympathetic Tony realizing how hard it was to be Banner even before the Hulk. And then you've got Banner going, I don't remember. I didn't drink. And I didn't adjust the bomb the day before. And he looks in the glass and sees Tony's reflection. And it's like, oh shit. So they're going to have some issues to work through. Their rivalry just got a bit more intense. Spider-Man Spectacular, #1. It's a bunch of untold tales of Spider-Man's past that I didn't like it. I mean, the stories themselves were okay, but according to this, we've got, he met the Fantastic Four before he met the Fantastic Four, which makes no sense for that original Fantastic Four story. He met Kraven before he met Kraven. It's doing stories that take place in between, or in between page untold stories, have to be done the right way. Otherwise, they can just be at best meh to at worst counterproductive. This manages to be the worst of both worlds. It is a counterproductive meh. That's that. Trade-wise, we've got Deathmatch Volume 3, Ending Deathmatch. I loved this book. This was an arena, superheroes and supervillains forced to fight each other. We've seen it before, we've heard it before, but this was done on, there's twists in here that some of them I don't even fully understand because the book it's one of those books that's smarter than I am, but everything was great, the art was great, and it's just a different take on a concept we've seen so many times. And then this really doesn't need a review beyond, it's called Six Gun Gorilla. This giant trade collects the Six Gun Gorilla, in which it's a dystopian future. We've got a world called the Blister. It's another dimension that we tried to kind of mine and populate, but it's got its own kind of horrors to it. So they make kind of a reality show. They send people in. If you're suicidal, fine, we'll send you in to fight the war in the Blister, but we're going to put cameras behind your eyes so everybody gets to see what you're doing and ultimately gets to live out your death. And our one guy goes in, but along the way he comes across the Six Gun Gorilla, a giant talking cowboy gorilla that is both real and not real, and is representative of a lot of things that the guy works through, and it's really, really good. And it's a giant fucking gorilla with guns, and yet so much more. So really, check that out. And that was really freaking long, but that was a giant pile, so I don't know what to tell you. I will see you next week.